Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan, occasionally known as Super Saiyan 1, is a legendary transformation unique to the Saiyan race of both the 6th and 7th universes. It is the signature transformation of the Saiyans relocated to Earth, all of whom have been able to achieve the transformation, save for the infants Pan and Bra, but was famously first awakened by Son Gokū during his battle against the evil tyrant Freeza. The Super Saiyan transformation is a separate line of transformations from the Great Monkey transformation and the Super Saiyan God transformation, which are also unique to Saiyans. It has two more higher transformations that are, in reality, extensions of itself, which help draw out its true power. It also branches off into the legendary Super Saiyan line of transformations. Despite being the lowest Super Saiyan transformation, this form is capable of vast improvements due to the low cost it places on its wielder's body, to the point of making its two higher forms obsolete. It can also be combined with God Ki to allow the wielder to fight with the likes of the gods. It can also be combined with Super Saiyan God to create a hybrid form known as Super Saiyan Blue, the ultimate transformation of the Saiyan race. History. Before the start of the series, the Super Saiyan transformation was part of the Saiyan mythology about the ultimate fighter. According to Vegeta, it was believed that a Super Saiyan appeared once every 1,000 years. A Saiyan named Yamoshi achieved the Super Saiyan transformation for the first time and used it to lead a rebellion against the evil Saiyans that ruled their homeworld. In the anime, the Super Saiyan legend was expounded further upon. There it was explained that the previous Super Saiyan had been so strong that he had been forced to use it only in his Great Monkey transformation. Appearance. The transformation into a Super Saiyan isn't a drastic one. The hallmarks of the Super Saiyan transformation are raised, golden hair, which includes their eyebrows and their tail, if they still possess one, green eyes, and a slightly increased muscle mass. The Saiyan's aura becomes a vibrant shade of white, gold in the anime, while also becoming more erratic and flame-like. Kale, uniquely, has shown a green tint to her ordinary Super Saiyan form, and is the only Saiyan with this tint. Kefla, as a fusion of caulifla and kale, would display the same Super Saiyan variation. Despite the shift in appearance, this is still treated as the Super Saiyan form. Attributes. What determines whether or not a Saiyan can become a Super Saiyan is the number of S cells in their bodies. Inheriting them from parents increases the likelihood, as well as being raised in a gentle environment like Earth. Only if a Saiyan has sufficient S cells, a gentle spirit, and a strong enough combat strength can they awaken the Super Saiyan transformation. In order for a Saiyan to become a Super Saiyan, they must first surpass the limitations of their species. Afterwards, if their heart is calm and they experience an extreme emotion, the Saiyan can turn into a Super Saiyan. Despite this, a calm heart can refer to that as either pure good and/or pure evil. Vegeta stated to Kaba that the first step to becoming a Super Saiyan is embracing one's rage. In the anime, biologically, Super Saiyan builds up the ki at the center of their back, and is described as a tingly feeling by Kaba. Upon learning this, Caulifla replicated the sensation without needing rage for the transformation. After obtaining Super Saiyan, Goku abandoned Kaioken altogether because the power output is much greater in this form. On top of that, Super Saiyan requires the user stay in it for a relatively long period of time before bringing the user to exhaustion, whereas Kaioken brings the user to exhaustion after only a few minutes. As a result, once a person has obtained Super Saiyan, Kaioken has completely lost all usefulness, at least until Goku achieves Super Saiyan Blue, which has superior ki usage to Super Saiyan. The Super Saiyan transformation, and all of its variants, drastically increase the Saiyan's speed, strength, and power. The user's fighting strength multiplies by a factor of 50, as shown by Goku, who had a fighting strength of 3 million in his base form, but 150 million upon achieving Super Saiyan for the first time. After witnessing Goku's Super Saiyan transformation, Tenshinhan commented that his power was in a completely different dimension, this being despite the fact that Goku's power was drastically weakened by his heart disease. Upon transforming, Goku was able to dominate the incredibly powerful Freeza, and Vegeta made short work of Android 19. The Saiyan also gains an increase in durability. For example, Goku was able to take an otherwise lethal Kakoha from the fingertips to his head and received only a mild bruise as damage. The Saiyan's body also desensitizes greatly. This was shown when just before transforming, Goku could barely stand on his own from overusing Kaioken and from taking a beating from Freeza. When he transformed, those injuries did not affect him in the slightest. In the anime, according to Kaba, the form is also accompanied by a tingling sensation within their back. This sensation persists throughout the transformation, and reverting back to base state involves releasing the feeling. Despite these obvious advantages, the transformation is not without its weaknesses. The most obvious drawback is the increased consumption of the Saiyan's energy. Additionally, their energy becomes erratic and hard to focus. The transformation also puts a great deal of stress on the Saiyans' body, especially the heart. In Goku's case, this additional stress brought on the heart disease from its initial stages of infection of causing severe fatigueness to the final stages of infection of causing chest pains. Personality-wise, the transformation is far more extreme. When Goku first transformed into a Super Saiyan, he became overcome with grief, rage, and an insatiable desire for revenge. Additionally, Goku's already incredible desire for battle is increased, to the point that he refuses KO of the North's pleas to not allow Freeza to reach his maximum power. At the same time, the Saiyan experiences increases in their natural arrogance to the point of extremely rash behavior. Goku, for instance, allowed Freeza to obtain his maximum power and frequently toyed with the tyrant as a result of his newfound power. In the case of Vegeta, on the other hand, the transformation increased his sense of superiority, which led to the Saiyan challenging the superior android 18 alone in combat, resulting in his defeat. With training, these personality flaws can eventually be overcome, allowing the Saiyan to display their usual behavior, rather than these more aggressive tendencies, while in a transformed state. After his battles with Majin Buu and the Hikation, Beerus, Goku realized that mastering both his based form and the original Super Saiyan transformation would drain less of his energy, allowing him to become even more powerful than Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. For this reason, he stops using transformations beyond an ordinary Super Saiyan. After obtaining Godly Ki, Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan transformation is replaced by Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. This form is merely the Super Saiyan transformation with godly energy. Ascended Saiyan. After losing his battle against Android 18, Vegeta angrily announced his plan to obtain power beyond the level of a Super Saiyan. With the threat of both the androids and Cell hanging over them, the other Saiyans, including Goku, Gohan, and future Trunks, joined his endeavor to reach a level above Super Saiyan. While both Vegeta and Trunks' attempts to surpass the Super Saiyan level initially failed, the Saiyans succeeded in discovering a level beyond the first Super Saiyan when Gohan became a Super Saiyan 2 against Cell during the Cell games. Super Saiyan 2nd Grade. After training in the Room of Spirit and Time, both Vegeta and future Trunks emerged having ascended beyond the Super Saiyan state. The Super Saiyan 2nd Grade is an enhanced Super Saiyan state in which the Saiyan concentrates their power into their nerves to inflate their muscles. The result is a state that is both stronger and faster than a typical Super Saiyan. However, this increased output comes at faster energy consumption from transforming and maintaining the transformation. This stage is visually identical to the ordinary Super Saiyan transformation with the exception of more rigid hair and an increased muscle mass. The increase in power allowed both Vegeta and Trunks to dominate Cell after the futuristic android had absorbed Android 17. However, the success of the form didn't last long, as it was no match for Cell once he obtained his developed form and, in the anime, was no use against the Cell Juniors during the Cell games. Ultimately, the Super Saiyan 2nd Grade was abandoned in favor of the vastly more powerful Super Saiyan 2 transformation. Super Saiyan 3rd Grade. The Super Saiyan 3rd Grade, referred to by Kyolan only as a Super Saiyan, is a further enhancement of the Super Saiyan transformation obtained by both Trunks and Goku during their training in the Room of Spirit and Time. This form floods the body with tremendous inner power, inflating the Saiyan's muscles to their limits. Trunks used this form in order to fight Cell in his developed form after the bioandroid had defeated his father, Vegeta. The limits of this grade were apparent almost immediately. Despite being granted a power that surpassed Cell in his developed form, the increased muscle mass of this form made it difficult for Trunks to move fast enough to hit the evil android, resulting in his defeat. Because of the tremendous force needed to move the muscles even at a slow rate, the user also tires out quickly. This can be seen when Trunks was able to hit and keep up with Cell at first, but couldn't land a single blow after a while. The Super Saiyan 3rd Grade would be abandoned completely after Trunks' fight with Cell due to these drawbacks. Super Saiyan 4th Grade. The Super Saiyan 4th Grade is a transformation achieved to address the drawbacks of the standard Super Saiyan transformation. Also known as a full-power Super Saiyan, these drawbacks can be overcome with strenuous training, during which the Saiyan attempts to stay in the Super Saiyan state until their bodies adapt and it becomes normal for them. Goku invented the concept for this form after realizing the weakness of 3rd grade Super Saiyan and from realizing the standard Super Saiyan was the best option in terms of balancing between strength, speed, and stamina. Because transforming and maintaining the transformation is stressful for the body, he wanted to find a way to make the transformation natural so they reap the benefits of being Super Saiyan without any of the negative effects. Mastery of this form essentially means to start basic training all over again. The Saiyan starts by simply staying Super Saiyan all the time unless when sleeping. Afterwards, they start basic training again but on a higher scale due to having Super Saiyans. Goku and Gohan were the first Saiyans to achieve this more natural Super Saiyan state. Upon witnessing them in their mastered Super Saiyan form, Vegeta notes that their energy had lost its erratic traits and felt more like their normal form. In addition to overcoming the energy consumption of the traditional Super Saiyan transformation, Saiyans who have mastered the form also retain their normal personalities and lack the violent qualities of the original transformation. In addition, prolonged usage of Super Saiyan as well as second and third grade Super Saiyans put increasing stress on the body respectively. The key point to this mastery is not increasing the energy output, but conserving energy and increasing stamina. By being able to stay Super Saiyan at all times, the user will not experience any stress on their body when living their day-to-day lives. When they fight, the amount of stress on their body compared to the other three forms will be very minimal, enabling them to fight much longer and more efficiently due to having lose their aggressive nature. In addition, they don't lose their speed, enabling them to outpace and outlast the other forms. These combined enhancements allow the Saiyan to focus their energy and bring out the true power of the Super Saiyan transformation, transcending even the Ascended Saiyan enhancements. Notably, the Super Saiyan 4th grade energy is noted by Yakon, a Maju with the uncanny ability to eat light, as the best light he had ever eaten, implying different qualities exist in this form's aura compared to other forms of light. It is unknown if this applies to the raw Super Saiyan form or the other enhanced forms and levels as well. Variations. There are 3 separate Super Saiyan transformation lines. The traditional transformation line is the most common and is first achieved by Son Gokū. Later, other Saiyans learn to use those transformations. The legendary Saiyan transformation line runs parallel to the traditional line, but is unique to Kale, Broly, and their fusions. The final line belongs to hybrid transformations. For instance, Super Saiyan God is a separate transformation, but by combining it with Super Saiyan, one can become Super Saiyan Blue.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.